Hey everyone, my name is Mr. Shahid, and we have Cohen Powell with us at OverPower Marketing, and we are going to show you something amazing. So, Cohen, why don't you go ahead and give me a call?
Okay, sure thing.
So, what we've done is we set up this new call-in feature, which is also called the phone tree. And just to show you what it does, we are going to show you a small demonstration.
All right. And as we mentioned before, we're going to be going over the IVR section of the OverPower app. And what IVR means is interactive voice response. It is a technology that allows callers to interact with the computer system using their voice. And the IVR is a powerful tool that can automate your phone systems, route calls to appropriate departments or individuals, and provide information without the need for human intervention. So, like I mentioned before, it can do call routing. It has the menu system. So, like whenever you are trying to call a business and it says press 1 for HR, press 2 for X, press 3 for Y, and so on. You are able to leave voicemails with this system. It has text to speech. You can convert text into spoken messages. It records calls and so on. It is a very nice tool to have whenever you want to keep track of any information that you might get through your call system. So I'm now going to call Mustafa real quick just to give a brief example. So let's see. Now with this, we'll have an example of what the IPR will do and how it will take on this call. So first time I will not
Hello.
do anything.
Thank you for calling Mustafa. Press 1 for sales, press 2 for customer support, press 3 for billing, press 4 for human resources, and press 5 for other inquiries. To learn more about Mustafa, press 6. Hello. Thank you for calling Mustafa. Press 1 for sales, press
Maybe we'll
2
just
for
repeat.
customer support, press 3 for billing, press 4 for human resources, and press 5 for other inquiries. To learn more about Mustafa, press 6.
All right, and
In
then
case no one picks up the call, what's going to happen next is as follows.
This call will end now. We will reach out to you via SMS, unless this is a landline number.
what will occur is whatever you have set in the workflow, which we will get to shortly after these examples. Next, I will yes, Warren.
Are we able to change the automated voice?
Absolutely. We are able to either type out a message which the system will say either in a female voice or a male voice, or we can upload our own recordings that we want the system to play. So we
Awesome.
have both of these options.
Awesome. Thank you for letting me know.
Thank you for asking. So now Cohen is going to call me again just to learn more about Mustafa.
This time I am going to do the number 6 menu option, which will bring up the line in which it will tell us more about Mustafa.
And for all the people watching, please pay close attention. It's sort of a short trivia.
Hello. Thank you for calling Mustafa. Press 1 for sales, press 2 for customer support, press 3 for billing, press 4 for human resources, and press 5 for other inquiries. To learn more about Mustafa, press 6. Hello.
All right.
Let's play 2 truths and 1 lie with Mustafa. Guess which is the lie? Mustafa loves playing strategy games. Mustafa has green eyes. Mustafa always completes his work on time, always being the emphasis.
So let's go with number 1.
Hello. Thank you for
One more.
Yes, or can you wait until the call ends? Continue on, Cohen.
I was just going to answer the question, but okay.
Now you can answer the question while Cohen is calling me again for the third demonstration. What was the answer?
No, it's too late now. It's too late. Oh well.
I can repeat the statements again if you want.
All right, and let's do this again.
All right, so this one, please pay close attention because this is something that we have sort of found out is a technicality which you can play around with as well. I'll explain more after the call.
Hello. Thank you for calling Mustafa. Press 1 for sales, press 2 for customer support, press 3 for billing, press 4 for human resources, and press 5 for other inquiries. This call will be handled by Mustafa. If you're sure about that, press 1234. To back to the menu, press 4321.
All right, let's go back to the menu to see how it does it.
Hello. Thank you for calling Mustafa. Press 1 for sales, press 2 for customer support.
All
press
right, went
3
back
for
to the
billing,
menu. Now let's
press
go
4
back
for
to called Mustafa directly.
This call will be handled by Mustafa. If you're sure about that, press 1234. To back.
All right, so what Cohen just did, he just entered
This
1,
call
2,
will
3
be
instead of
handled
1,
by
2, 3, 4.
Mustafa. If you're sure about that, press 1234. To
Okay.
back to the
It asked me
menu,
again, so
press
I'm going to put in the actual number.
4321.
All right, so the call ended because my number is not currently reachable. It's a number out of state. So that's why the system would not allow this call to be forwarded. Cohen, can you just call once again on the same number, and instead of pressing any other number, just press 1?
Okay.
So what I did in the previous one, the limit to enter numbers were 4. So the system was waiting until 4 numbers were entered. So that's why after 1, 2, 3, the system was waiting for 4 to be entered. And since it was not entered, it repeated the message.
All right. And do you want me to do 1 this time?
Yeah,
Hello.
just press 1.
Thank you for calling Mustafa. Press 1 for sales. Press
Okay.
2
1
for
for
customer
sales.
support.
And this time your call, where it was supposed to contact Oren's number, which is 1-850-739-1336. For some reason, it didn't. Well, anyways, that's how the entire IVR thing, the phone tree, works. So more about that. Can I share my screen, Cohen?
Sure thing. I'll be sure to pass it over to Mustafa now so he can go further into detail.
Let me just share my screen quickly. Now that it's been shown, let me just zoom in so that people understand what it is. All right, let's start with the first. And please ignore this part. I'll talk about it. So the trigger is whenever Mustafa receives a call on which is my number. If it shows me, yep, 850-641-7655. Whenever I receive a call, this IVR will be triggered and it will turn on for that trigger person. Then we have a path, that the same path that we had an action by the name of gather input on call. So what this does is it will play your message, whether you've typed it out or whether you've recorded your own message via your voice. So you've uploaded an MP3. And basically what this action is doing, it's waiting for the user to press a number. It could be 1 number, 2 number, 3, 4, 5, as many as you want, depending upon what the direction is. So if we go to the bottom, firstly, we have either you want to say a message or play a message. Then you can enter the text that you wanted to say. Currently, the only language which is available is English within the US. Then regarding the message voice, we have 2 options to choose from, either man or woman. And then number of loops. The number of loops mean how many times will this message be repeated in case someone doesn't press a number. Then we have the match conditions, which I've enabled. So what it does is it's checking against the system which number was clicked or pressed and which branch to send it to. So the first one was for sales, 2 for customer support, and so on and so forth. Then we have the advanced settings, in which we can stop gathering after 5 seconds. What it does is it will wait for 5 seconds before moving to the none branch. We can enable the stop gathering on key press. So for example, if I enable that, I'll have to mention which number it is, which is supposed to be entered to stop this IVR to gather more information. And over here, this is the main one. How many numbers must be pressed before this particular action stops gathering? So it could be 1, it could be 2, as you heard in the previous example, when Cohen entered 1, 2, 3, 4 or 4, 3, 2, 1, you can just change it to 4. And in this case, if only 1, 2, or 3 numbers are entered, the system will wait for 5 seconds and then repeat the message so that you can input the entire number. That's the second one. Then you have the connect to user number, in which you can select the number from the list, or you can add your own custom number within the US. Do we have any other options? Yeah, we do have a lot of options. Then you can also click on advanced settings. You can detect whether this phone number has a voicemail or not. Do you want to record the call? If the person that's been called, the user, for example, in this case, Oren, is being called and he doesn't answer in 30 seconds, the call will end. You can set it to between 1 second to a maximum of 600 seconds. And then the entire conversation should be about how many seconds long. You can set it up to as much as you want. You can do it 24 hours as well. But over here, it's for 1 hour, which is 3,600 seconds. Then we have, so based on that, whenever the person clicks on any of the number, it goes to its own specific branch, 1 for sales, 2 for customer support, 3 for billing, and so on and so forth. Then we have the final option, which says end IVR call. So what it does is it will just end the call, and before ending the call, you can say or play a message. When it was saying that this call will end now and you'll receive an SMS unless you have a landline, something like that. The final one that we have is say or play a message. This action will only say or play a message without waiting for the system or waiting for the customer to press a number. So just to play a message, it could be something like this message, this call has been recorded for quality assurance. It could be anything that you want it to be. So this is the way an IVR is set up, that a person calls, a menu shows up or a menu is played out, and then based on what the numbers are for which branches, the person presses the number, and then he goes in that particular branch, and so on and so forth. You can have it as simple as 1 to 2 to 3 branches. You can have it as complex as you want. And after the call ends, you can even assign tasks to the assigned user. You can send out an SMS, an email, and multiple other things that you want to do. So yeah, that is today's workshop regarding IVRs. Are there any questions regarding phone trees or IVRs that we may not have addressed already? Well, I don't think anyone is talking anything about it. So
I have a question,
yes, Mr. Jeff.
and I hate to ask a question where the answer is no, but can it recognize voice? Can it recognize voice request
No,
in the IVR?
in the case that we want that the user wants to record his own voicemail and for the company, I don't think that option is available at the moment. So no, it cannot detect a voice for right now.
Okay, I was just curious. Sometimes when you call IVRs, they say press 1 or say 1 or something like that.
Yeah, that's true. But if such a development, if such a feature development comes up, I'll be sure to let you know about it.
Okay, very good, very good. And this did go pretty fast. I don't know if we want to go down. I would be interested to know how this can help integrate with some of the automations.
Integrated with some automation. So what we can do is since this IVR is triggered off when someone calls an inbound number instead of an outbound number, that is the only way it will do. But on the action side, based on the person who has called, you can either add them to an opportunity board that this person has called. You can put them into a power dialer in case no one picked up the call or they didn't press any number, meaning they called the number and they just left the phone, something like that, something happened, whatever the reason may be, they did not talk to the person that they wanted to. So you can put them in a power dialer so they can be called back. You can send them an email, you can send them SMS and things like that if they have chosen particular numbers. So for example, someone wants to learn more about the organization, you can play them a recorded message, something like, you will be receiving an email shortly regarding everything there is to know about OverPower Marketing. And then when the call is hung up, an email is sent out automatically. So we can play around.
The email, though, to send an email, they would have to have already been in the database and know their email address.
Absolutely.
Okay.
If it's something that's we can have that qualifying question as well. So if you
Right,
have an
so-
email address that you entered,
So in other words, if it were an after hours call and they're in the database and you know their email, you could fire off an email stating company hours and after hours emergency numbers, something like that. You could do a text or an email with your automation off of an after hours call.
yeah, and plus what you can even do is you can have 2 IVRs side by side, one that's working only during the office hours and one that's working on the off hours. So if someone calls on the off hours, they can say something like, sorry, you missed us. We'll be able to get back to you tomorrow. We'll be reaching out to you at this time, or which time would you prefer to have a call from us? So press 1 for early in the morning, press 2 for the early afternoon, and things like that. Based on that, we can have the entire system making those calls, converting those leads. So every type of possibility exists over here so that no opportunity is wasted.
Right. Or even if it's a known number and it's a known email address, you could even send a link to the calendar to send them.
Yeah. What we can do is we can also guide them in order to reach to our funnel or our landing page, and where we have our either conversational AI enabled or a chatbot, which will motivate them, inspire them to make a booking.
Very good.
So we can have different setups connected together via workflows and automations. But just to show in this example, that would have been too much information for something that's so simple as of now. So that's why otherwise the options are endless. And I love automations. So.
Well, yeah, even if you didn't know who they were and it's an unknown number, you do have the number to now text. You could literally text a link to a chat bot or whatever. So, I mean, there's all kinds of things you could do with this.
Absolutely. Again,
Yeah.
it entirely depends upon the business's sales process, the handling the calls process. So whatever the existing process is, it can either replicate it or it can even improve it to give them more functionality.
I like that. Very good. Good job, guys.
Thank you, Mr. Jeff. Does anyone else?
Yes. Great job.
So no one else has any questions? I was waiting for Oren's answer.
Sorry, I was helping a support ticket at that time. My
No,
bad.
no problem. No problem. You can still watch the replay of this video of this presentation on our YouTube channel. And yeah, that's it. We hope to see you next week, same time, same day. Bye.
All right. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, guys.